Somewhere in Japan, millions of people wear glasses that never go cloudy. And it's not because of better lenses. That shirt hem wipe you do without thinking 5, 6, 10 times a day. Those little foil-wrapped wipes you keep in your bag. That blue spray bottle from the pharmacy. None of it is working the way you think it is, and by lunchtime your lenses look smudged all over again anyway. Here's something that puts this in perspective. Roughly 3/4 of Japan wears glasses or contacts, somewhere around 90 million people, in a country where glasses are practically part of the national uniform, and somehow their lenses stay immaculate. Walk into an optical shop in Tokyo, and the person behind the counter doesn't reach for a cloth or a spray bottle at all. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what they reach for instead, and why almost everything you've bought specifically for this job is working against you. Let's run through the mistakes actually worth eliminating, because a few of them are things people do specifically to be careful with their glasses, and they're the ones causing the most damage. Never use window cleaner or any all-purpose household spray on lenses. Ammonia and other harsh compounds strip anti-reflective coatings and UV layers right off, and you paid real money for those coatings. Never wipe a lens while it's dry, always rinse first, since every speck of dust becomes a tiny blade the second you press a cloth against it. Skip paper towels and tissues entirely. They feel soft against skin, but they're made of wood pulp fibers with rough edges that scratch plastic and polycarbonate lenses on contact. Stop setting glasses face down on nightstands and counters. Stand them upright with the arms open or keep them in a case so the lenses never touch a surface. And keep the water cool, never hot, since heat damages coatings and can slowly warp plastic frames into a fit that sits slightly off-center without you noticing until your next eye appointment. Let's start with what's actually happening every time you wipe your lenses dry. Glasses aren't cheap plastic toys, but they're also not immune to friction. Every time you drag a dry shirt, a dry tissue, or a dry cloth across the lens, you're grinding whatever dust and grit happen to be sitting on the surface directly into it, the same way sandpaper works on wood. You can't see individual scratches forming in the moment, but over weeks and months, thousands of those tiny passes build into a fine haze that no spray or wipe will ever clean off, because it isn't dirt anymore. It's damaged. Once it's in the lens, it's permanent. No amount of polishing brings it back. And here's the part that actually surprised researchers who tested this properly. Those pre-moistened lens wipes from the drugstore, the $8 packs of 30, don't hold up either. Lenses cleaned with disposable wipes looked fine indoors, but under direct sunlight, faint swirl marks showed up across the surface every time. Lenses cleaned with nothing but plain soap and water were completely clear from every angle. No streaks, no swirl, no residue. The wipes weren't cleaning the lens so much as trading one kind of film for another, leaving behind fragrance, fast-drying alcohol, and tiny lint fibers that cling even after the lens looks clean. And that old trick of breathing on your lenses before wiping them, that's just spreading bacteria from your mouth onto a surface that sits millimeters from your eyes all day. None of that is really about carelessness. It's about following advice, sprays, wipes, shirt hems that sounds reasonable and is quietly working against you. This is where the same idea running through Japanese household care in general shows up again. The concept of motenai, the quiet discomfort with wasting something that's still good. A pair of glasses that cost $200, $400, $600 going cloudy from a bad daily habit isn't really wear and tear. It's a fixable mistake being repeated. The same way a stiff towel or a rusty pan usually isn't actually worn out, just treated wrong. So here's what most Japanese households actually do at home, and the normal everyday version of it is almost embarrassingly simple. It's not a gadget or a specialty product. It's plain dish soap and water, the same bottle sitting by your kitchen sink right now. Start with your own hands. Wash them properly with regular soap and water before you touch the frames at all. Your fingertips carry oils, dead skin, food residue, and grit from everything you've touched all day, and if you skip this step, you're just transferring all of it straight onto the lens in the next one. Once your hands are clean, hold the glasses under a gentle stream of cool to lukewarm water. Never hot. Hot water can damage anti-reflective coatings and loosen the adhesive holding some frames together, And the cool rinse does the real work here, floating away loose dust and debris so there's nothing gritty trapped between your finger and the glass in the next step. Now place one small drop of plain dish soap on your wet fingertips. Fragrance-free, lotion-free, as basic as it comes. No citrus varieties, no moisturizing formulas, no antibacterial additives. Gently massage both sides of each lens using the flat pad of your finger, never a nail, in light circular motions working from the center out toward the edge. Clean the bridge and the arms too, since oils and dead skin collect in those joints constantly and migrate back onto the lens throughout the day. Rinse thoroughly under cool running water until every trace of slickness is gone. Soap left behind creates its own streaks, so keep rinsing until the lens actually feels clean under your finger, not just looks it. Here's the step that actually separates this from ordinary washing. Instead of reaching for a cloth, use your thumb and forefinger like a tiny squeegee, placing the lens between them near the bridge and sliding outward toward the rim in one smooth, firm motion. That pushes almost all the water off in a single pass, no rubbing, no friction. Set the glasses upright on the rim of a mug and let the last bit air dry, or gently pat, never rub, with a freshly laundered microfiber cloth. The whole process takes about 60 seconds and leaves lenses cleaner than any spray or wipe ever has. Quick one before we keep going. Tell me in the comments, how many times a day do you catch yourself wiping your glasses on your shirt without even thinking about it? I read these, and they tell me what to cover next. The science behind why this works is straightforward once you see it. Dish soap is a surfactant, meaning its molecules have one end that grabs onto oil and grease, and another end that bonds with water. When soap touches a dirty lens, it latches onto fingerprints and skin oil, and rinsing carries all of it down the drain instead of smearing it around. But the real trick is what soap does to the water itself. It lowers the water's surface tension, so instead of forming little clinging droplets that dry into spots, the water sheets evenly across the whole lens and carries debris with it as it goes. The same principle that makes a squeegee work on a car windshield. And your fingertip is a better cleaning tool than any cloth for a strange reason. It can actually feel a grain of sand or grit sitting on the lens before you press down on it, where a cloth just grinds that same grit straight into the coating without you ever noticing. Now, if you've ever actually visited an optical shop in Japan, you may have noticed something sitting on the counter that looks like a small metal bathtub about the size of a coffee mug. That's an ultrasonic cleaner, and it's common practice at shops in Tokyo and Osaka to drop your glasses in for a few minutes of deep cleaning. The device generates high-frequency sound waves through a tank of water, creating thousands of microscopic bubbles that form and collapse in rapid succession. Each tiny collapse creates a miniature shockwave that dislodges dirt, oil, and grime from places a fingertip can't reach, especially down in the hinges and the tiny gaps around the screws, without anything ever physically touching the lens. It's genuinely excellent for that specific kind of buildup, the grime that hides in the joints of the frame rather than sitting on the flat lens surface. But it's also a countertop appliance that costs $30 to $40 and needs a sink and a few spare minutes, which makes it a nice occasional deep clean, rather than something practical to reach for daily or when you're out of the house. That's really the gap most people are missing a solution for, not the daily routine at home and not the deep, occasional clean, but the moment you're at a restaurant table, on a plane, or your lenses fog up walking in from the cold with no sink or countertop machine anywhere nearby. And this is where the honest answer isn't a random drugstore wipe, since we've already covered what those tend to leave behind in the sun. The real solution for that specific gap is a properly formulated disposable wipe built for exactly this job. The individually wrapped glasses, Wipes from Japan with Love, are a good example of what that actually looks like, carrying an anti-fog, quick-drying formula rather than the generic alcohol and fragrance mix found in most pharmacy packs. Anti-fog formulas work by leaving a thin, even surfactant layer on the lens that stops water vapor from forming the tiny droplets that make glasses fog up, while the quick-drying part means no lingering residue sitting around to attract dust the way a slower-drying wipe does. Because each one is sealed and used once, there's no picking up grit in your bag or drying out halfway through a pack the way multi-use wipes do, which is exactly the failure point that made regular wipes leave streaks in the first place. So the actual system looks like this. Dish soap and water is the daily default at home. The ultrasonic bath is the occasional deep clean for the grime hiding in hinges you can't reach. And a pack of proper anti-fog wipes lives in your bag or car for the moments neither of those is an option. Here's what all of this actually saves you. A good pair of prescription glasses with real anti-reflective coating runs anywhere from $200 to $600, and replacing them every year because the lenses are too scratched to see through clearly is an expensive habit built entirely on a cleaning routine, not on actual product failure. A bottle of plain dish soap costs a few dollars and lasts months of daily use. A small pack of proper anti-fog wipes for the days you're away from a sink costs about the same as one drugstore 3-pack and does a noticeably better job. The cheapest method here also happens to be the best one, which almost never happens with anything else you buy.